Popsicle sticks or 2 sticks that you find outside, and you're going to glue them together with one little dot of glue and wait for those to dry so they're nice and secure. Okay, I used tacky glue, but you can use white glue if that's what you have. It'll work just fine. Once your sticks are dried together like this, you want to hold it like an X. Choose your yarn. I have 3 different ones here just in case I want to switch colors. We'll see how I feel. And what we're going to do is first start by wrapping your yarn over the center of your X. 1, 2, maybe 3. Then I'm going to turn it here. I'm going to do that 1, 2, 3, just like that. And now I'm going to hold it like a plus sign. You see how I have it like this? And here's the pattern. All you do is you wrap it around the stick, turn, wrap around, turn, wrap around. Don't let that tail get in the way. Scoot back there. Wrap it, across, under, turn, across, under, turn. And it'll take a little while for your pattern to show, but be patient, it will show. Make sure you always turn in the same direction. Both of your hands are super important here. They got to work together as a team. One hand is the yarn wrapper, the other is the rotator. Oop, I think I start to see a pattern emerge. See that there? And again, that tail just wants to stick out. Well, scoop back there, tail. Here we go. Now remember, you want these pieces of yarns to go next to each other, not over each other, okay? That will keep the pattern growing along your sticks. Now let's say maybe I think I'm getting ready. I think I want to change colors. Here's what you do. Pause. Snip. Tie these 2 together. You might need some help from an adult if you can't do it, but I just crossed it over. Make a little knot. And now let's tighten that back up. See how it got a little loose? I'm going to tighten it. Cross. And just keep going. Now to end your God's Eye, first cut off your yarn. And then what I like to do is go backwards to my opposite row like this, okay? So you see how I did that? I went forward, over, and then I'm going to go backwards like this. Now I can sort of make a little loop right here and tie that together. There's another way you can do this by just tying off a loop to your yarn, but this is the way that I learned. It's a little tricky because you have to form a loop right under here. This is the trickiest part of the God's Eye, tying off this little knot. So see how I have a loop through? And then use my pincher fingers, pull that yarn through so it looks like that, and then just squeeze tight. Now, I'm sure there's other ways you can do that, but that's the way I do it. And then I like to use this pot to hang it, if you want to keep it like that. Or cut it off. You are all done.
Alright, boys and girls, you will receive a set of sticks that are glued together. After we work today, we'll be putting our names on the back of the edge of the stick. You're going to choose a yarn color. I have plenty of choices, and they're wrapped around a piece of cardboard, so it's easy to cut a piece off. Just unravel. Make sure not to cut such a small piece of yarn off, because it's a little bit tricky to tie pieces together, okay? And once you have your yarn choice, you pick up your sticks and you hold it with one hand, put the end of the yarn on the other side and wrap 3 times around, and turn slightly to like an X shape and wrap around the opposite direction. And then, boys and girls, hold tight, wrap around a stick. So I'm going to wrap around, and then I'm going to go over to the next stick and wrap around the stick. So I'm going to wrap around the stick, turn, wrap around the stick, turn, wrap around the stick, turn, wrap around the stick, turn. This is the pattern. Wrap around the stick, turn, always going over the stick, turn, wrap around 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 the stick, turn, and you'll start to see the pattern setting up within your God's eye. Wrap around the stick, turn, and you're always wrapping over the stick, turn, over the stick, turn. And do you see we've got kind of a squared shape in the front? Perfect. Wrap around the stick, turn. It's like turning a wheel, and you're setting up the pattern, and then you just keep following through till the end. It gets a little tricky when you want to change colors, so I like to give you a lot of color that is self-changing throughout the yarn. And basically it is a pattern through till the end. And I'll show you how to connect 2 pieces of string. You're going to have to tie a knot. Here I come to the end of this one, wrap around the stick, turn, wrap around, turn. And I'll just do this all the way to the end. Now make sure the yarn is sitting next to other pieces of yarn, not over. Wrap around, turn, and it looks like I've come to the end, and I'm going to need another piece of string. So once again, I've set yarn up for you on these little pieces of cardboard. You unwrap and then you cut it off. Make sure it isn't too short, because then you're going to have to keep tying, and you're going to tie a knot. The thing about your connections, the thing about tying 2 pieces of yarn together, you're going to want to tuck that little tail to the back of your weaving so it isn't sticking out in the front of the weaving. That's where it gets tricky. Let's try this. I'm going to back up a little bit, wrap around, and then I'm going to turn, wrap around, turn, and look, it sort of sticks out. I was hoping it would tuck behind, but I'm going to hold it really tight here, push the little tail back. We can trim it later, and we want it to sit in the back. There we go, tucking it and wrap around, turn, wrap around, turn. And I'm always repeating that pattern. Wrap around, turn. And you've got to tuck the tail in the back. Wrap around, turn. And I'm not laying yarn over another piece of yarn. I'm only setting it up against a piece of yarn. And here we go. You can start seeing what they call the God's eye. It's really yarn in a squared shape or a diamond shape, depending on which way you're hanging it or holding it. And same pattern throughout. Wrap around, turn, till the very end. And boys and girls, be patient. Remember, it's hard to help everyone at one time. If you need a little help, you have to be patient. And sometimes asking a friend or someone at your seat, you may get the answer from your classmates. And maybe they can help you out a little bit if I'm busy. This is going to take more than one class period. And it's very relaxing, actually, to weave. This is a type of weaving. All right, boys and girls. Thank you.
Her agent
And then
has to
around.
sign off on this.
And then around.
Turn
Yeah.
around,
And they try to stay next to the
turn around,
ones. You just keep turning. It's the same.
all the way to the end. And it was, I forgot what you did in the beginning. 5 and 5 crisscross?
put
You make
two
an
things
X in the
together,
beginning.
An
You
X.
wrap it around 3 to 5 times as an anchor.
Then you just loop up, you loop every